Okay, in this presentation, we are going to talk about the conflict management in the workplace, and we also give the ideas resolutions for today and tomorrow. So, there is a visions of conflict management resolution. If we can apply certain strategies in conflict, so we can eliminate the drawbacks of the conflict, raise the positive aspect of the conflict, and perform the effectiveness in the organization. The goal and object of conflict management is to prepare to handle the conflict issues directly affect the strengths and successes of people you represent. In today's situation, why we have so many conflicts between people is because we have poor communications, lack of teamwork, or clear individual responsibilities, incompetent team structure, disagreement about the priorities, culture, politics, and religious diversification in the workplace, and unfair competition or unfair rivalry.
Rivalry.
Rivalry. Next. So there are different types of conflict, which are intrapersonal conflict, interpersonal conflict, functional conflict, as well as intergroup conflict. I'm gonna introduce I'm gonna give the definition for each conflict. For intrapersonal conflict, means it happens within yourself. It can develop out of your own thoughts, ideas, emotions, values, and predispositions. Interpersonal conflict means that you are in conflict with other individuals. This is considered a major level of conflict and can occur between co-workers, siblings, spouses, roommates, and neighbors. Functional conflict means a functional conflict is the positive conflict that occurs among the people in work group. They support the company's goal and improve performance. Intergroup conflict is people who in an organization or group may have decreases or disadvantage in result of outcome they gain, which they negotiate in the process. It consists of dispute and disagreements of individuals discouraged to improve company's performances. So here's conflict escalation.
So there are some conflict escalation in the workplace. It will it it starts from the disagreement from the between two people, and then after that it will rise to personification. Then after that it will expand to the problems. After the problems expands, the dialogue will abandon, and then it will create the enemy images, and then open hostility, and then after that it will the peak is polarization. Then there are some common interview questions in the conflict management, such as um, how do you deal with conflict? Tell me about the the time when you face a major obstacle at work. The third one, tell me about a time when you face a major obstacle at work. And then tell me about a time you face an ethical dilemma. And the last one, tell me about an assignment that was too difficult for you. How did you resolve the issue? And then this is the example of the interview question and answer. First, Jeremy, what do you think? How do you deal with conflicts?
Okay, the question you just asked, I have an answer. Is talk with other person, and we can ask other person to name a time when it would be convenient to meet, or arrange a meet in a place where you won't be interrupted.
Then, second one, tell me about a time when you face a major obstacle at work. How do you cope with?
In this case, focus on behavior and events, not on personalities. Say when this happens instead of when you do. Describe a specific instance or event instead of generalization.
Next one. Tell me about a time when you face a major obstacle at work.
So
Jeremy.
we can listen carefully, listen to what the other person is saying instead of getting ready to react. Avoid interrupting the other person after the other person finishes speaking. Rephrase what was said to make sure you understand it. Ask questions to clarify your understanding.
And then tell me about the time you face an ethical dilemma. How do you cope with?
Um, from my own perspective view, I can identify points of agreement and disagreement. Summarize the areas of agreement and disagreement. Ask the other person if he or she agrees with your assessment. Modify your assessment until both of you agree on the areas of conflict.
Then the last one. Tell me about an assignment that was too difficult for you. How did you resolve this problem?
There are many steps to solve these issues, such as the first one, prioritize the areas of conflict. Discuss which areas of conflict are most important to each of you to resolve. The second, develop a plan to work on each conflict. Start with the most important conflict, focus on the future, and set up future meeting times to continue your discussions. The third one is follow through on your plan. Stick with the discussions until you've worked through each area of conflict. Maintain a collaborative, like let's work out a solution attitude. The fourth step is build on your success. Look for opportunities to point out progress. Compliment the other person's insight and achievements. Congratulate each other when you make progress. Even if it's just a small step, your hard work will pay off when scheduled discussion eventually give you way to ongoing friendly communication. So after we resolve the conflict, so both sides of the conflict can make a deal. And there are a few other options to help us manage the conflict, which are get to the root of the problem, find common ground, and navigate conflict fairly. There are steps conflict resolution. The first step is solve the conflict, figure the techniques to solve the conflict, then remains few conflict. If we can achieve that, we can get good communication, good time management, and good cooperation. If we can achieve that, those stuff will help us boost the business performance. In conclusion, conflict arises when the difference between two or more people necessitates change in at least one person in order for their engagement to continue and develop. The differences cannot coexist without some adjustment. So that's pretty much about it. Thanks for listening.
So uh, is there any question from you? Thank you.